How do you see AI changing cybersecurity, both in offense and defense?
Yeah, yeah. So from it, I could speak stronger to the offensive side. Just some of the stuff we just talked about for sure. To your point, one of the reasons I kind of moved to my current employer from my previous employer, where I actually helped start their pen testing like division. So it was, I had a lot of connection to that place, sentimental, all that. So it's tough to leave. But the one thing that was really appealing was the place I work now offered a continuous model, and to me that was after 6 years of pen testing. I was like, man, there are so many things with increasing frequency that happen after my engagement ends with a client that I wish I can go back and test for, learn more about, or at least
Oh
warn
yeah.
them.
Yeah,
So,
something just some vulnerability just got announced and you want to check for it. Yeah, and the engagement's
yep,
over. You gotta wait a
yeah,
year.
yeah, exactly. And that doesn't help them, and it doesn't help me. And so it's just kind of like obviously there's more factors, budgeting and all that stuff, and I get that. But that all aside, the logical thing is like we got to be able to stay on top of this as a service or continuously, or we need an engagement that's written in a way that does not stop me from going and testing before the bad guy dies. So,
Right, right. Yep.
so that was so the reason I bring that all up is because AI. You asked the question. AI is just going to throw a fire on that now. Instead of there being new vulnerabilities once or twice a year that shake everybody up,
Hmm.
it feels like there's once a week, if not more. There could have been three
Oh
in this
yeah.
month. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
that's the
they're
offensive
coming
side.
at
Oh,
us.
yeah. Oh yeah.
They're
Yeah.
coming at us fast.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And part of I don't want to call it an issue, but something that we'll have to face is human acceptance for technical people. I think is really high right now. I think you'll have a lot of executives who are skeptical. Do we want our pen testers throwing AI tools at us? How can we
Mhm.
feel good about this? But I've always insisted every offensive security engagement or offering should be aligned with what threat actors do. And I could promise you, threat actors are using these tools, at least for everything on
Of
the internet
course.
right now.
Of
So,
course. Yes, of course. They're the first using them, and then while we're debating if we should test ourselves with them too.
yes,
Yeah,
yep.
for sure.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so the
So,
defensive side, it's still the game of cat and mouse in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's just
yeah.
they're going to do the same thing we're doing. I don't know as much about it, but I imagine similar concept.
Yep, the game just really accelerated basically. And
Yeah.
another thing I find is it's interesting though with agentic pen testing. One thing that it's doing, uh, of course, for the enterprise and the businesses, everything just went faster. But for the small business and people, individual with websites and stuff like that, that never could have paid people tens of thousands of dollars for a pen test, a few years ago. That was completely out of reach for them. But now with agentic pen testing, it's within reach for a lot more people than it's ever been before. So I think that's a really nice thing about it is people that could not even test at all now have the ability to do it. And then the enterprise now they have pen testers with superpowers that can try to keep up with bad actors and also all the bugs that they're introducing because they're moving at the speed of AI.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point too. Kind of semi unrelated, but in that same realm is like I think there's a lot of small businesses that could start to try to flourish with the right what am I trying to say? Implementation. There we go. Of AI. It could really help a lot of small businesses compete.
Oh yeah.
Just because you're now a much more powerful one or two or three-man shop or whatever it is.
Yep. You definitely can do a lot more with a lot less if you know how to leverage AI in so many different ways.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a wild 10 years, I think.
Yeah. I don't know what 10 years is going to look like. That's a scary
Right?
point.
It feels like so far now, 10 years, like that because we're moving so fast that even thinking 5 years down the road is gonna be so different. Um,
Yeah.